Hello everybody, Dr.StarRx here, and I just recently finished my first year of veterinary school, for those of you that may know. In today's video, I'm going to tell you about some things that you're going to need, and some things to know going into your first year of veterinary school, from my experience of course. So that being said, please stay tuned. So first off, let's go and talk about the things that you're going to want to have for your first year of veterinary school. Once again, of course, from my experience. So first thing you're going to want is a laptop, and preferably a laptop with a touchscreen, with a stylus. I believe they're very easy to take notes with and also very convenient for schoolwork. But to get a little bit more technical, I'm going to talk about some specs that will be very beneficial to have on your computer. And once again, if you do not know or understand tech stuff that much, don't worry about it, but trust me, these specs will be very beneficial for this type of school computer. So first, you'll at least need 1,000 gigabytes of memory. Throughout vet school, especially 4 years, going to be downloading a lot of files, a lot of information. You want to make sure you have plenty of space on your computer. Also, if your school has Office 365 that comes along with you being a student there, they most likely have a cloud that may also have memory on there as well, so you can save files there as well too. Next is you want at least 8 gigabytes of RAM or more. RAM stands for random access memory if you don't know, and it basically makes it where your computer can operate and run multiple windows and multiple applications at once without having that much of a slowdown. The more RAM, the better basically. But 8 gigabytes is perfect for school. Next, you're going to want an i5 or i7 Intel Core processor, or even an i3 if you want to get more economic. But as long as you have a decent core processor unit in your computer, you should be fine. It's just considered like the brain of the computer, if you want to call it that. And then lastly, just a standard graphics card. If you get a laptop from HP, Windows, Dell, they're going to have a standard default graphics card in the computer. Don't worry about upgrading to a higher one. You shouldn't need that unless you're like a gamer and you want to get like very, very technical. But don't worry about it too much. But that's it for a computer. Next, I'm going to just list off some things that you're going to want just because you're in veterinary school in general. Scrubs, multiple pairs of scrubs. You want a lab coat for like your labs and things like that, like anatomy lab and other labs you may have your first year. Some schools may provide you a lab coat, but if not, get a lab coat. You're going to want a dissection kit for your first year anatomy lab. And you're also going to want a stethoscope. And you don't have to get nothing fancy right away. You can get yourself like a $30 stethoscope. I got this one off Amazon. What's it called? Paramed. Works just fine, here just fine. I use this whenever I work at my equine ICU job and do physicals. Here just fine. Long auscultations, heart sounds, you name it. But you want a stethoscope. Another thing is you want to have plenty of professional wear. Veterinary school is a professional school, so you want to have plenty of professional wear. You're in school 5 days out the week, most of the time from 8 to 5 o'clock. So you want to make sure you have plenty of professional wear, plenty of things to wear throughout your school. Next thing I would say is a suture pad. Now you probably won't use this until like later on after your first year when you get more into like your surgery classes and things like that. However, it doesn't hurt to start early, learn how to suture your first year. Could be good skill just to know anyway. So I would recommend getting a suture pad. In terms of your books, your school should tell you what books you should get. And this is subjective, but I found it's also very beneficial to get like a little calendar board, something that you can mark your dates on, tests, upcoming quizzes, assignments, etc., etc., etc. Be something good to have just to keep some order to your schedule. But yeah, I would recommend getting a calendar board. And this one is like just another piece of advice, but definitely look into housing as of yesterday. Honestly, this video is coming out probably maybe June, and by the time you got accepted and know you're going to what school you're going to, you should have been already looking at housing, in my opinion. Housing, especially at some of these schools that are in big college towns, goes fast, Good housing goes fast, goes like hotcakes. So honestly, go ahead and look into housing as soon as possible. Get yourself some place to live, because if you wait too long, you may get the leftovers and the more or less desirable places. So look into housing as soon as possible, basically. All right, that's it for the things that you want to have going into your first year of school. Now let's get to the next part of the video, which is things that I have learned from my first year. I want to give you some pieces of advice. So the first thing I want to talk about is be prepared for the amount of information that's going to be thrown your way. I'm not trying to scare you all or anything like that, but veterinary school, especially your first year and even years after that, it's going to be a lot of information. The most information that you probably had to digest in your entire life. You all are here for a reason. You're all at where you're at for a reason. So just trust the process, but it will be a lot of information. So just be prepared for that. And this is the next thing that kind of goes with that information, but you want to develop good study habits your first year of veterinary school. You know, the first couple weeks before you start getting exams thrown your way, you want to start developing your own rhythm and learning how to truly study in this curriculum. There's many different ways to skin a, well, sorry still, but I was about to say, there's many different ways to skin a cat, literally and figuratively, but as you'll see in your first year. But the thing is though, there's many different ways to study. Everybody has their way, to each his own type deal. I have a video that I've uploaded in the past, and I'm actually going to post a little bit of a link in the top left hand corner of this video at one of the title cards. And it's like a video talking about how I do well in veterinary school, or how I do well, at least the academic portion of it. So definitely check that out. I have some tips in there that can help you with your study methods and things like that. But once again, it's my way, so it may not be the best way for you, but it can give you some insight things that you can do. Next thing I'll say, don't be afraid to be involved in the school. Your first year is going to be a lot of opportunities thrown your way. It can be opportunities to join different clubs, opportunities for jobs, and opportunities for these things called rounds. But don't be afraid to get involved. In a way, these extracurricular activities all add to your learning. For example, my first year, I actually worked 2 jobs. One in small animal surgery and one at the large animal hospital working with horses. And both of those jobs actually contribute a lot to my learning, what I'm learning in the classroom. And I actually talked about that in another video in the past too. Next thing is find a mentor in the school. Easier said than done, but I believe if you can find someone, either be an upperclassman, a professor, a faculty, someone that's been there, done that type deal, someone that can teach you the ropes, someone that you can talk to, someone you can go to in times of need, Like I said, easier said than done, but if you can, I think that'd be very beneficial. Next thing is have hobbies besides studying all day. I believe having hobbies, getting away from school every once in a while can help you reduce the burnout that you may experience in veterinary school. So have hobbies, and also it helps with mental health and reduces anxiety and stress too. So have hobbies. The other thing is be yourself. Don't worry about what people think about you, because by doing such, you add unnecessary stress to the already stressful experience you're going through in terms of veterinary school. So don't add any more stress than it already has to be. Another thing is bring snacks to class, especially if your school allows you, food in the classroom and whatnot. I believe it's very good to have little snacks in between classes, things like that, to keep yourself kind of energized and also kind of motivated, because the days can run really, really long in veterinary school. Also, take advantage of breaks in between classes, like use the opportunity to go walk around, move your blood, get the blood circulating. Don't just sit in class all day. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is beware of imposter syndrome. You may feel as if you do not belong, or your classmates may know more information than you do, or may have more experience than you do. Trust me, they don't know everything, and neither do you. That's why you're in veterinary school to begin with, to learn and to become veterinary doctors. So don't get in your own head, because everyone has to start somewhere. And at the end of the day, our hope is that we all will finish together and become doctors of veterinary medicine. Alright then, well that's basically it for this video. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I really appreciate you all. And like always, God bless you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video.